Hello and welcome to my review of the Apocalypse Element. Now this is quite an early release, number 11, and it's been a release what has intrigued me for quite a long time, and I finally got around to listening to it and it sort of inspired me, and I'll go into that later, how it sort of inspired me to look at another Big Finish range. So without further ado, let's look at the cover, then we'll go on to my thoughts. Okay, so for the cover we have Doctor Who, we have the Seal of Brassil on there, we've got a Dalek and some flames, Colin Baker, Sixth Doctor and Romana 2 with some flames. I have to say this is quite a striking cover. When you compare it to the other early Big Finish covers, this is quite a striking one, and I have to say it is a fantastic cover and it really does symbolise what this story is about. So we've got original audio drama starring Colin Baker and Lalla Ward. We have Dalek Empire Part 2 because this is the second part, first being the Genocide Machine because it's part of a quadrilogy, this sort of story with the mutant phase and Time of the Daleks. Apocalypse Element number 11, and then we have what the story is about, and the total running time is 100. Okay, here we have the booklet. Obviously I forgot to mention I got it signed by Lalla Ward at Big Finish Day 6. So if we open it up, we have pictures of the cast and crew there. You can see Big Finish was quite primitive back in the day compared to what we have now. Then we have the sort of custom radio times listings, and then we have upcoming Big Finish adventures and advertisement for the Doctor Who books, and we have the writer's notes there. The disc art is exactly the same as the cover. Obviously you can't really see, you can just make out a bit of Dalek and Romana there. You can see me, hello. So that's basically the disc, and then behind the disc, if I can remember which way on the disc opens, we have a picture of Colin and Lalla. Now you may be wondering why I said this release intrigued me. That's because the Daleks managed to infiltrate Gallifrey. Which is rather fitting since we've had the release of the War Doctor box set this month. Now the Apocalypse Element has made me consider getting Gallifrey Series 6, as it looks very Time War-esque with having the new series Daleks on the cover of the box. I'm not sure if you've got to listen to previous Gallifrey stories to understand what's going on in it, or it's a perfect jumping on point for that. Now onto the story itself. I think that this is an absolutely marvellous story. It has this great blockbuster feel with these epic battles going on, and it is the closest thing to seeing the Sixth Doctor in the Time War. Even though it isn't really the Time War, it's still nice to imagine what if the Sixth Doctor was in the Time War. Now the Dalek plot feels very 1960s-esque, with them mining a planet and using their minerals to power a device and piloting the planet. The Daleks are really a force to be reckoned with within this story, with them putting the Doctor in some dark corners. If they can't conquer the universe, then they will watch it go up in flames. And the Daleks are really giving it their all just to get victory. They're self-sacrificing themselves to achieve victory, and even, going out of their casings and using their mutants to attack the Doctor and Trinket in, I think it's episode 2. And that's quite a tense moment and has some great sound design, and it's sort of quite a gruesome thing to listen to. Another gruesome scene is that they burn out the eyes of a near-dead Gallifreyan just to access some information, and it just shows that the Daleks will stop at nothing to get a victory. So they're using their mutants, they're blowing themselves up, and they're burning Gallifreyan people's eyes out just to get information. So they are really giving it their all, so they are really dark and devious within this story. Now on to Colin Baker. As always, he does a superb job and continues the Colin Baker master plan with making his Doctor a lot more softer in nature. What I particularly love in this story is how Colin's performance builds as the threat increases, which is just superb, and I'll get onto that in more detail in a minute. Now, I always find it interesting how, when a Doctor is pushed into a corner, how they would react, and that's another reason why I love Project Twilight, to see the Sixth Doctor pushed in that corner, much like Masters of Earth. So the Sixth Doctor is really pushed in some dark corners, and the Daleks have got the Doctor right where they want him, and the Doctor just blows his top in episode 4, and to me that is a standout moment in the story. With him giving this end of the universe rant, and it does suggest that the spiky hero of old hasn't gone anywhere. Despite the sort of change in his nature, the spiky Sixth Doctor is still there, in that epic rant in episode 4 about the end of the universe. That is a great moment. Maggie Stables, it's times like this when you remember how fabulous she was, and this story is quite jam-packed, and to be honest it does leave Evelyn a bit redundant in the first 2 episodes, but in episode 3 and 4 she becomes quite integral to the plot, which is great. Don't get me wrong, she does have a couple of nice moments within the first 2 episodes, such as talking to the alien delegates and having a blast talking to them, which is a nice scene. Another moment which I'm quite fond of is that she thought she was too old to get the eyes of the squaddy. If you've listened to the story you might get that joke, and she gets this really beautiful moment after the 6th Doctor's quite big rant in episode 4 about the end of the universe, and it's quite nice because she's just like, I'm sorry Doctor. It's a very nice little apology to the Doctor, and it's a great little scene between the 6th Doctor and Evelyn. Lalla Ward, wow, she slips back into her role effortlessly, with her being commanding and delivering her lines quite steely, and it makes you think she is definitely fit to be president of Gallifrey, and she is who you need in a crisis, as she stays calm and she has this authority, so you can obviously trust her, and she's obviously a good leader because she's stays cool and calm, and she just has this power. Now this leads me on to a standout moment for me in the story, is that she has this devastating confession in episode 2. Again, another powerful moment within the story, and this story does have some great powerful character moments. Evelyn had the speech after the Doctor's rant about the end of the universe, and Romana had this sort of speech in episode 2 of her confession, and obviously the Doctor in episode 4 ranting about how the universe is ending and all that. So it's very great for a character sort of story, and the guest cast are superb. So what are my overall thoughts on this? I think that this is a fantastic, suspenseful, action-packed story with excellent music, with an excellent music score and brilliant sound design, from battle sequences to alien crowds. And it's definitely, I have to say, the performances are strong, and it continues with 6th Doctor and Evelyn's sort of friendship, and you can see that the 6th Doctor really cares about Evelyn within this story, and it's great as we see the 6th Doctor's compassion for Evelyn, and it's great to see that, because I haven't listened to a 6th Doctor and Evelyn story for a while, so it's great to revisit that. And this story is definitely my favourite from the Dalek quadrilogy, and it's making me consider getting Dalek Empire as well, because that's quite cheap on Big Finish, so I think I might pick up series 1 and see how good that is, and then I might proceed on to the other series of that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this review. Oh yeah, I better rate it. I'm going to give this story 9 cat badges out of 10, a superb story, and like I said, it's worth checking out just to imagine the 6th Doctor in this time war sort of scenario. So there we are. Thank you very much for watching this review, and I'll see you in my next review, whatever that will be. Something festive, I hope.